Hey guys, it's Meg. I am here this week with a new video for you. This is going to be our standard tarot reading, so if you guys want to get a message from the cards, please come on in, have a seat, get comfortable, and we'll get started in a minute. Before I do, though, I do want to say that if you like what you see in the video, please go ahead and click the like, subscribe, and the bell buttons so you can stay in the loop for when I post new work. I have also included links to my social media and my website, so if you guys want to get in touch with me outside of YouTube, you totally can. I do take private readings, so if you are interested in doing that, um, yeah, please let me know. Everything you need to get that process started is linked. But please also follow your heart and use your discretion, discernment when it comes to this, because it is an option, it's not an obligation. I leave that to you to decide what you want to do there. Also, I have listed the decks I'm using for this reading in the description, as well as the timestamp for the bonus reading, because there will be a bonus reading with this. So, yeah, I hope you guys are doing really well. Maybe not really well, but I hope you guys are doing okay. Um, I'm excited to see what messages we can get out of the cards for you. So, let's get started with our oracle energy. I like to get a base reading. I like to use our oracle energy to kind of get the roll, kind of get the ball rolling on this reading here. So, um, first oracle card we have is Ride the Wave. Okay. Second, we have Strategy. Okay. And yeah, we also have the Canary Spirit. This is asking you to sing your own song. Okay. So I'm getting two things here. Right off the bat, there is a need to kind of go with the flow. Yeah, go with the flow. Um, go with the flow, but also kind of strategize your approach on how to do things. Once you get that in mind, let it happen. Just let it happen. We're all we're all good there, right? Once you know what's going on, you don't need to muscle it. You don't need to get it. You don't need to brute force whatever it is you're hoping to do, whatever goals you have. They can just chill. They can be relaxed. Okay. Um, Again, go with the flow. Don't brute force anything, but also kind of know where you're going a little bit beforehand so it can be so you can take the first steps. Okay. Um, we'll go with that. Okay. Um, to make this, to make strategizing and going with the flow a lot easier here, what I'm going to say is tap into your own truths. Okay. Your own person. Use your personhood. Use your unique brand of magic to get this journey started for you. Okay. So, and you know what? Sing your own song. That is the message for the Canary Spirit here. So don't be afraid to uh, don't be afraid to be yourself in this situation. Yeah, in this situation. I think there has been a lot of chatter, a lot of noise about the things you're choosing to do and the way you're choosing to move forward. Excuse me. Yeah, there's been a lot of that. There's been a lot of chatter. There's been a lot of noise. There's been a lot of, frankly, stress. It's causing you a lot of stress because you feel like you don't have any agency. Okay. With all of the noise going on, it's like, okay, where do I listen to? What do I do? You listen to your intuition because ultimately, I you know what's going to be right for you, and you know what you're going to need to say and do and where you're going to need to be in order for your goals to make themselves manifest in this reality. Okay, so there's the canary spirit. Let's get into our oracle, our tarot energy. What I'm going to do here is pull some supplemental energy for the oracle, then we'll clarify it and we'll get into what we are seeing for you, you personally. Get another deck here. Okay. I'm switching stuff around here as I've been batch filming a bunch of videos. Um, so it's probably time to switch things up a little bit. So let's do that. Okay. So back to the tarot here. Let's see what we need to see. Please, let's see what we need to see. What can we do to supplement our oracle energy here? Okay. So first card out, we have the Emperor. I like this. I like this in terms of the fact that this is gaining authority. This is taking, taking back a little bit of your authority. What this is signaling to me is that, yes, you've heard a lot of noise about how you're going to strategize your forward progress, but I do very strongly believe that you have realized your own agency in this, okay? Because you're not, and I'm getting there because we're talking about the canary spirit. We're talking about staying true and sharing yourself authentically in this situation, okay? You're taking what you're hearing and you're making it make sense. You're taking what seems chaotic and making it orderly, okay? Yeah, and you're working working towards a goal in a way that is balanced, and you're in complete mastery of the situation, okay? So there's the Emperor, okay? We also have you. Okay, you are the one. I did mention authenticity. You the one. You are one. Okay. There's some scripted typography right there. Anyway, not the point. The point is that you are coming into this situation as a whole being, and by whole doesn't mean that you have everything figured out, because borne out by the beginning oracle here, there's some things that you are moving towards, okay, and you have to strategize the plans for that. But I think there is an understanding of your personhood and what you bring into this situation as it is already, okay? There is no need for you to be anybody else, because you can't take up anybody else's space, right? You take up space as yourself, and you should, again, like I said, you're showing up authentically in the situation. You're doing that because you've realized your agency, okay? You realized your agency here. You realized your capability to take what's going on around you and making it make sense, right? Okay. And you have the Nine of Pentacles, which I don't know if you can see that. That says rewards, okay? So you're reaping the benefits of doing this, okay? Because ultimately it's a lot of work, what you're doing. Ultimately, It does require effort, it does require presence, it does require showing up, but it matters the way you're showing up, okay? And it matters that you've come to this authentically, okay? You've come to this in a means of um, not efforting things, not brute forcing things into reality, but you're going with the flow and being secure in your personhood and in your skin, um, means that you've means that done you've done 50% already just by showing up. Now, um, the rest of this is going to come a lot easier than if you had shown up trying to be somebody else. And you know what? All of this, you're gonna see results. You're going to see very, very good things come in for you. Um, you're gonna see very good things come in for you. Um, I think with the Nine of Pentacles, you're giving yourself permission to enjoy yourself, because even if this work has been difficult and long, it's also been meaningful and rewarding. I say difficult and long. There's been some things that have challenged you in this work, but ultimately they've served you well because they are bringing you rewards. Okay, so there is the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, now let's see some hidden and clarifying energy, please. What is it that we need to see for our hidden and clarifying energy? Hidden energy is, okay, hidden energy is justice. So the part of the work that we've been doing is working on gaining balance, specifically to the karmic scales at this point. And what I mean by that is that there have been some things in your past and that have possibly affected your present, and you're being called to answer for them, because now I don't know if this situation is do or die, but there's some things you do need to look at, especially in terms of behavior, responses to things. Have you been reactionary or analytical in this situation, and have you been able to strike a balance between both? Okay. Excuse me. There are things that there are things that you're going to have to answer for: good, bad, ugly, indifferent, whatever those things are. But all of those things, doing that part of the work, is going to help you balance things out. Okay. Because look at what you have. Look at what you have coming. Okay. Um, being balanced, being present. Okay. I'm going to read these together then. Being balanced and being present, okay, is going to help you truly reap what you sow. Reap all the good, beautiful things that you have coming to you. Okay. Again, because it's the Nine of Pentacles, you're on the hook for a little more work. Okay. Here's what you got to do. But I do think results will come for you. Okay. Will come in, and good results at that. Okay. Okay. That's our hidden energy. Let's see our clarifying energy. Knight of Pentacles. So I'm hearing the phrase "take it slow." Measure. Yep. Take a measured approach, because you are still working to come up with a plan, or maybe you have a plan that needs to be finalized in the way that you're going to move forward. Okay. Um, that's interesting. You have strategy and you have action. Um, I think it's one thing to plan, it's another thing to move forward. And I think with with what you have going on with the call to reflect on how you take your agency back, how you show up in your space. Um, Reflecting on that is going to help you keep going. Keep going if you're already on this journey, but keep moving. Keep your eye on the prize is what I'm hearing. Now this is going to be slow. This is going to be measured. This is going to be calculated. And it may take a little bit of a push for you to get started. Now I'm saying that because pentacles are associated with earth energy. It's the earth element that this is associated for. And sometimes that can be slow. It can require, at least in this case, what I'm hearing is that this task is going to require your full attention. Um, you know how you're going to need to show up already. Being present and being yourself here is going to help you take that action. Okay. It's going to help you take that action because you'll be aware of how you need to move forward. Okay. So there's the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. Also with the Knight of Pentacles and with this general energy, I'll pull the Pentacles out here. You have a very grounded, rooted approach to this. Again, Pentacles, Earth element here, it's tied to the Earth. So you've taken the time to plant new seeds, made the effort to tend them and water what it is that you're wanting to achieve. And it is growing because here are your results. Here's your reward. Okay. So let's clarify why it is, what we are seeing here, what we are. Okay, what energy do we need to see in terms of clarifying each of our cards? Let's see for the Emperor. Okay. So to clarify the Emperor, we have the Magician. So this is a recognition of our capability. Recognition of our unique brand of magic. Okay. We don't have to show up as anybody else. We don't have to show up and try and do what other people are doing because we're sure of this. Okay, we know what we have at our disposal and we're going to move forward on it. I think there's a message in that. I think that's the message I want to say here. Again, you're aware of your capability, okay? And you're aware of your capability, certainly to get things done, but certainly to assess and to be analytical in this situation. Now, I think the risk here is to be so much in your head that you cage off your emotion. But with this, things are growing, things are changing. You're starting to see things. You're starting to gain an idea of what the result might be, even if it doesn't come to pass the way you think it will. That might be disappointing, but remember that you're the magician in your own life. You get to decide where you go and what you do next. Okay. And this plays into the strategy here because now you're being called to game plan your next steps. Like what do you think the next steps are going to be? I think you already know, right? You already know. Okay. Let's clarify the You Are One card here. Why are we seeing this card? What are we seeing for this card? Okay, we have another action person here. This is the Knight of Wands. So, in this regard, you know how you feel. You know how you feel, and you know how intensely you're feeling it. Okay, this is. I'm saying this based on the fact that wands are associated with fire. Um, you do have, and generally, I think you have a very bright, warm, compassionate, open-hearted disposition. You're willing to go the extra mile for people you care about. Okay, um, but on the flip side of that, I think the tendency of this is to go and go and go until you burn out, and this is um, normally I wouldn't mention that because if the card had come up in reverse, that's how I would interpret the reverse meaning. But um, in this case, um, you know what you're feeling, you know how intensely you're feeling it, and I think in this case, you know the boundary you're willing to go to in order to preserve your energy, preserve your life force, and in that way you can be present for other people. Because if you're not present with yourself, you can't do for others what you need to do for yourself. Okay. Um, so you're taking action on that understanding. You're taking action on that, on what's inspiring you, and what's fueling your passions right now. Okay. Um, and you're doing this because you have a good idea of who you are and how you show up in this situation. Okay. So that's the Knight of Wands. We also have Temperance, again, striking a balance between caring for others, caring for yourselves, and knowing the approach is coming from an understanding of your personhood. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I was pausing a minute to see if I had anything more to say on that. But if you have any personal interpretations you feel safe in sharing with me, please go ahead and leave it in the comments, because I'd like to see how this is resonating with you, or if it's not, let me know. We'll get a discussion going. I'm happy to see other interpretations. Okay, so back to the reading. Let's clarify our Nine of Pentacles energy. Why are we seeing our Knight of Pentacles here? Okay, that was Nine of Pentacles. We'll get to that card in a minute. Nine of Pentacles, starting to be clarified by the Queen of Cups. So there's a deep emotion, a deep emotional connection to doing this. Okay, um, because you're very much in tune with what you're feeling. Okay, and you're very much in tune with how to process all of the things you're bringing in. Okay, um, and going by that's a turtle there. So going by what direction in this card it's being pointed in, what direction this turtle's going on the card, you do a lot of emotional deep dives, and you really do have an understanding of that because you do that kind of work. Immediately leaping to mind is the idea that you're doing shadow work, you're doing work with your inner child, inner teenager. A lot of this is deeply personal for you, and you've worked at it enough that you're starting to see results from doing that. Results in terms of being self-aware, in terms of having understanding, excuse me, in terms of in terms of just basic understanding of yourself and how you function, how you operate, what it is that you need to do in order to safely and generously function as your true self. Part of your true self is that you feel your feels, you feel them deeply, and because you're learning how you process them, you're showing up as yourself. Okay, you're better able to do that. Okay, so there's the Queen of Cups, but we also have the Queen of Wands. The intensity of what you're feeling. There you go. You know how to nurture what you're feeling and how deeply you're feeling it. You can say, I do think potentially at this time your throat chakra has been very active. Um, and you're able to say, you're able to process. It's like, hey, I'm very happy right now. Or, this thing happened and I'm feeling angry. Okay. But the thing that's different is that whereas before you might have been, oh, I'm so angry, I could punch a wall or I could do this, that, and the other. Now it's like, well, I'm angry. So let me do these strategies that I've developed for myself to help me not only take care of myself, take care of others, but preserve my personhood so I don't lose my core essence in this situation. Okay. Okay. That's okay. I'm hearing the reward for doing this work is self-awareness. And I like, yeah, I like that. Okay, I like that very much. Oh, what a beautiful reading. Okay, so let's clarify justice. We have the justice card here. Let's clarify that. Okay. All right. Starting to clarify justice, we have the Page of Pentacles. So yes, there's a grounded, measured energy in all of this work. This work has been slow, it's been deliberate, um, it's been important. Ultimately, it's been important, and it's been, yeah, it's been important. It's been very important for you because this could have easily, I feel like this situation could have easily gotten out of your hands. But again, you are one card, you have the Emperor card, you have Temperance. All of this to me is suggesting a balanced, measured approach coming from the ideas of personhood and agency. Okay. And knowing that you're capable of exercising it. Okay. Now, knowing that you're capable of exercising it, now you're applying those ideas in the coming days. Okay. Yeah, you're applying those ideas in the coming days, and that could mean any number of things. You know what those are, and I think follow your intuition and follow your heart is the best advice I can give you for now. But ultimately, balancing things out, taking a measured approach, and following your strategy, but doing so in a way that's flexible and can account for things not happening the way you expect them to. So that's what you're learning here. There is the Page of Pentacles. Okay. And yep, here's another reward for you. That's going to pay off. Doing that is going to have dividends because you're going to have plenty. There's always enough anyway, but you're going to have plenty and you're going to be able to do the things that you're called for. You're going to be able to care for people and yourself. Both are important. But you're going to do so in a way that doesn't leave you feeling depleted or uncomfortable at the end of that. Okay. Oh, that's cool. Okay. So there's the Ten of Pentacles. Okay. Finally, let's clarify our Knight of Pentacles. I told you we would get here. Let's see what we need to see. Okay. Okay, so clarifying. All right, we have the Knight of Pentacles here, Knight of Pentacles. So to start clarifying that, why we are seeing here, there's a lot on your back. You're weighing a lot of responsibility right now. The responsibility being that you have to address what you need to address. You have to address what you need to address. Take care of mind the details. Okay, that could be what's bogging you down, but remember, just go with the flow. Take what's coming into you. Okay, you have the capability of doing that, and you have the capability of seeing this through to the end of it, to the completion. Okay, that's Ten of Swords. So what that could mean is that there has been some hurt, there's been some betrayal, there's been certainly some backstabbing. This may be coming from your support system, but I do think this may be coming from someone outside of your either of your situation or your support system, and their actions have hurt you. Frankly, you've been hurt by this person, these people, whatever the case. There's a painful sense of finality and final severance. Okay, and it's affected you. Okay, but the fact that this pain might still be here is suggesting that it does need to be addressed. But let's be clear, your trauma has you're not your trauma. It happened to you. Acknowledge it. It might not feel okay, and I'm certainly not going to try and diminish that, because you feel what you feel, and I think it would be a denial of yourself, of literally everything you've gotten out so far, if you pretended that it didn't hurt, or if you pretended not to address it. Okay. But this is where that action, that slow, taking your time action, is going to be what you it's going to be what you need to do. Okay, so this is something you may need to address, but do so on your time. Okay, there is the Ten of Swords. Okay, there's our hidden energy. Our clarifying energy is the Five of Cups. Yeah, it's disappointing. It's disappointing. That's still something you need to address. Okay, but in the long term, I do think there will be rewards. There are going to be rewards for the work that you're doing. Okay, for the work that you're doing, because you know what, you're strategizing and you're bringing things in as they come to you. Okay, whether that's probably psychic downloads, intuitive hits, it's all for the grand scheme of your story, and you definitely have one to tell. Okay, you definitely have one to tell. So, on that note, I'd like to see what kind of energy, what kind of energy you're radiating right now. There's a lot of good and beautiful things coming to you. How can we tap into that? How can you tap into that energy? Okay. So, okay. Let's see what we got here. Okay. So, first card, we have the Lovers. So there are still choices to be made. Okay. And I think you're gonna make them from a place of from a place of personhood. You're not, yes, you're hearing what other people are saying. You're taking maybe you're taking some of it to heart, but I don't think this is letting you. I don't think you're letting that affect um, affect the outcomes you want too much. Okay. Yes, strategize, go with the flow. Things might not go as expected, but that's where you're sitting, and that's what you're sitting with right now. Um, this probably could mean a it probably could mean a romantic entanglement, a partnership of some kind. You know what's on your heart with that aspect of this card, but I do think, the choice is yours, and you'll know how to make it. Okay, so there is the Lovers. Okay, we also have the Four of Cups. Again, with the choices, you're gonna know how to make. You're gonna know what's up to your level and what isn't. Okay, um, but you are also going to know how to answer, to recognize and answer for your for your past behaviors, for your part in creating the situation here. um, if something isn't up to snuff, you're going to know how to say, no, it isn't it, it's not doing it for me, or he's like, yes, definitely. Again, that's up to your personhood, and you know what that's going to mean. Okay, so there is the Lovers, there's a Four of Cups. We also have the Queen of Swords. Um, and part of your approach here is to observe, and to observe and to be smart, and to not lose your head over what's going on around you, right? Um, so you're, so you know how to process what you're going through. Okay. Um, you know what you're processing. Now, also, because we have the cups here, okay, this is attached to the water element, and thusly it has to do with emotions. Um, I think in this case you're choosing to be in your head but follow your heart. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what I'm hearing. So there's the Queen of Swords. Okay, so let's see some hidden. Okay, hidden energy is the Ace of Swords. So there are new opportunities to think differently about your situation here. You're being handed this dagger. Now you have to think about, do I use it for harm or do I use it for good? That could be one situation. I think, again, your approach to this is coming from a place of grounded personhood. Okay, so you're going to know what that looks like for you. All right. And finally, okay, let's see what else we have. Finally, for our clarifying energy, let's see here. We have the King of Pentacles. So you're, okay, you know who you are, you know the value that you bring to the table, you know what resources you have at your disposal, and you gained mastery in this situation to the point that you know you're going to know how to move forward. You know how to move forward. Okay. So, cool beans. I'm going to call it there for this main reading because we still have our bonus reading to go. But I hope that this made sense. It's definitely a really cool reading. I think one of the coolest I've done in a while. So I hope that it does help. But let's see what let's see what we have in terms of our bonus reading, and we will call it from there. So for our bonus reading, we have Metamorphosis. Okay. We have Rest and Rejuvenation. Okay. And we have Bobcat, Life is a Mystery. So immediately I'm hearing that there is, things have changed a lot. Things have grown, things have fallen away. And I say that in terms of you looking at what isn't serving you anymore and letting that go. Okay. But on top of that, this change has brought a lot of different energy that you're trying to process, and now you're being asked to give yourself a rest and give yourself a break. You've been through, at least for now, you've been through enough. Excuse me. You've been through enough that now it's time to sit with the things you need to process. Okay. Yes, doing that may bring in answers for you, but life outside of that is still going to be ever changing and ever moving, right? Which is why you need to be a little more self-aware right now. Okay, so that is our oracle reading for this bonus portion. Let's see. Let's see what we have in terms of our tarot. The first card we have is the Hermit. Okay. Rest, relax, take a break, remove yourself from the world for a little bit. The world's moving. The world can wait for you to come back to it. Okay. Now it may look a little bit different from what you're used to when you do re-enter. But again, remember that you've been through a lot of change, and now it's time to get back to your heart. Okay. So there's the Hermit. We also have the Devil. Things are going to look tempting. Things are going to look really, really cool. But that's unfortunately, I don't know if that's for you to decide what is and what isn't. No, I don't want to say acceptable. You do know you're coming into this from a knowing and an understanding. I think what I mean to say is that you're gonna know what's going to hold you back. Okay, and that's part of what this Devil card is looking at. It's what you're okay. You're gonna know what isn't acceptable to you in terms of what you attach meaning to. Okay, because if you're looking at things and thinking like, oh, no, if I do this over here, I'm gonna get stuck, or I'm gonna be over here and this isn't gonna serve me either. You know how to address you know how to address this energy, um, because you're stepping back and observing and looking at it and saying, well, maybe it is good for me, maybe it isn't. I need to take some time to be with my heart and um, be with my heart and work to understand that. Okay. And yeah, there's a choice in this. Okay. Because that's probably doing, looking at this devil energy is probably going to test your comfort zone. And if you stay in that comfort zone, what's the potential result? If you leave your comfort zone, what's the potential result? Ultimately, um, I think the choice is yours. Okay, I do acknowledge that the choice is yours, but you're going to have to take some time away to make those decisions. Okay, so that is it for this reading, guys. Thank you so much for sitting with me, for listening to this reading. Again, if you liked what you saw in this video, please go ahead and click the like, subscribe, and bell buttons. Do all of the things. Let me know what you think, because I'm certainly interested in hearing from you guys on this reading. And I think that's it. I think I've said what I needed to say. So until the next video, guys, I love you. Thank you for being here. I will see you very soon. And until then, stay safe and I love you. Bye, everybody.